up YouTube? Dan from D-Berg Skate here, and today I'm teaching you all switch skateboarding fundamentals. So what is switch skateboarding? Skating switch is when you are in the opposite stance than what is natural to you. For example, it's like skating lefty when you're actually a righty. So in my case, I'm a regular skater. I have my left foot in front, I push with my right foot, pop with my right foot, and flick with my left foot on tricks. But when I'm skating switch, I take on the goofy stance. I have my right foot in front, that does most of the flicking for tricks, and the left foot does all the popping. Now when I first started skateboarding, I thought switch was never gonna be a thing for me. Because skateboarding on its own is difficult enough. Just learning how to do tricks in one stance seems almost unachievable at first, but once you get it, then you start to realize that there's a lot of opportunity here. And the same goes for switch skating. Learning to skate switch is exactly like how when you first started skateboarding. Essentially, learning switch is just hitting the reset button. You don't really know how to push around in that stance. You can't ollie in that stance. You have to completely relearn how to do kick turns, how to do everything. But in the same way that you learned how to ollie in your normal stance or learned how to kickflip in your normal stance, switch skateboarding is exactly the same process of learning new tricks. So right now I'm going to give you all a few pointers on making switch skateboarding achievable. The key thing first and foremost is to be patient. Patience is probably the most important thing to learning how to skateboard, how to progress within skateboarding, and that is especially important with switch because you're going to get on the board and you're going to literally feel like you're doing everything backwards, and it's not going to feel right at all. But over time, switch will eventually feel regular. That'll eventually feel like part of your normal skating, part of your normal stance almost. So it's just about repetition, being consistent, constantly practicing switch. And the way that I really got into skating switch was just from literally pushing around switch. At first, this is going to be pretty damn difficult because me, for example, when I push around regular, I have the majority of my weight on that left foot. The right foot is just kind of doing the pushing. But when you switch that up, you're really not used to putting all the weight on your right foot and pushing with the left foot. So it takes a while to get comfortable. So what I recommend is you go out there every session, push around switch for just a little bit, maybe spend a couple minutes each day, and over time, it'll start to feel super comfortable. In fact, it'll feel almost as comfortable as your normal stance the more you practice this. As I said, most important thing to learning how to skate switch is literally just skating around switch. Push around switch, do some carves switch. Eventually you'll get more comfortable. You'll start doing kick turns switch. Then you'll start doing switch ollies. Now you can definitely learn how to do a nollie before a rolling switch ollie. I personally learned nollies by practicing switch ollies in place and then taking it rolling in the fakie position. But I would say once you completed step one, that is getting comfortable pushing around switch, it's time to start doing switch ollies rolling. At first it's going to feel super awkward popping with that foot you normally slide with and sliding with the foot you normally pop with, but over time it'll feel super comfortable. And in fact, my switch ollies I would say are almost as clean as my regular ollies. Definitely not as comfortable, rolling at those speeds and jumping over things the way I do with regular ollies. Your goal with switch ollies should be to be able to skate switch, do a bunch of switch ollies back to back. If you can do 5 switch ollies in a row, I'd say you're getting yourself in a pretty good place. And once you got that down, you can go right to the flip tricks. But what I cannot stress enough is the importance of having a good switch ollie before you go to the switch flip tricks. Because the most important thing, in my opinion, to a kick flip or a heel flip is the pop. And if you're not getting a good switch pop, then you're not going to get a switch kick flip or a switch heel flip with ease. So just be patient out there, be consistent. Every session, push around switch a little bit, practice those switch ollies, then you'll be able to work yourself up to those switch flip tricks. And honestly, in my opinion, it's a lot easier to learn a trick switch than nollie first, because it's like learning how to kickflip and then fakie kickflip. Like, which one did you learn first? And once you do get those switch tricks comfortable, they'll be pretty easy nollie as long as your nollies feel comfortable as well. But yeah, to my point, learning switch kickflips, switch heel flips is exactly like when you originally tried to learn how to do a normal kickflip or a normal heel flip. It's literally the same process. So that is why I cannot stress enough that skateboarding switch is far more achievable than you think. It's all about, once again, patience, consistency, and getting that practice in with each session. So yeah, I hope this video helped you today. I hope you're inspired now to go out there and skate switch. For the longest time, I was in this depressed mindset, and so many skaters are about switch skating. Like, oh, I will never be able to do that. But let me tell you, it is definitely achievable. You just got to get out there and practice. So thank you all for watching today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you all go out there and practice your switch just one step at a time. Take it day by day, and I promise you will get those switch tricks. If you have any questions, concerns, you want to update me on your progress, drop a comment. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because I'm going to be posting a lot more frequently now.